Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has called the latest U.S. sanctions the most aggressive, unjust, and harmful step that has ever been taken by the U.S. against Venezuela. In a televised address, Mr. Maduro named one of 7 officials sanctioned by the U.S. as his new interior minister. He also announced he would seek special powers from the National Assembly to defend the integrity of the country. Tensions between the two countries have been rising for months. Extraordinary threat. On Monday, U.S. President Barack Obama issued an executive order freezing the assets of 7 Venezuelan officials and banning them from entering the United States. Mr. Obama also said the situation in Venezuela, including the government's erosion of human rights guarantees, constitutes an unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security and foreign policy of the United States. He declared a national emergency to deal with the threat. In response, President Maduro accused Mr. Obama of personally taking on the task of defeating my government, intervening in Venezuela, in order to control it from the U.S. He also said he would ask the National Assembly on Tuesday to grant him special powers to fight imperialism. Mr. Maduro did not specify what powers exactly he would ask for, except to say he would propose a special enabling law to defend peace. The president's party has a majority in the National Assembly and members have in the past granted him powers to govern by decree, which expired in November 2014. U.S. interference. Opposition politicians warned that the move would be used to suppress dissent. A number of prominent opposition leaders are in jail, charged with inciting violence during mass protests that swept through the country last year. They say Mr. Maduro is trying to divert attention from Venezuela's economic crisis amid falling oil prices. The country is experiencing a shortage of many staple goods and the annual inflation rate is running at more than 60%, according to official figures. Moreover, polls suggested Mr. Maduro's approval rating had dropped to 22% in January. Mr. Maduro accuses the opposition of trying to topple his government with U.S. backing, which both the U.S. and opposition have denied. The Venezuelan leader also named as new Interior Minister one of the 7 Venezuelan officials whose assets were frozen by the U.S. on Monday. Mr. Maduro referred to the sanctions imposed on Gen. Gustavo Gonzalez ironically as a decoration from the American Empire. As well as Mr. Gonzalez, the officials sanctioned by the U.S. include the director of the National Police Force, the former director of the National Guard and other members of the security forces whom the U.S. accuses of human rights abuses. Venezuela in turn recalled its charge d'affaires from Washington, D.C. for consultations. The two countries have not exchanged ambassadors in more than 6 years.